all of the stocks that I bought this week. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor and I got the clothing line to prove that fact, and today we're speaking about what I bought this week, and it was my biggest ever week for investing in the stock market. I bought 5 companies for a combined total of about $5,730, which is insane to be saying. My initial plan when I began investing was to invest $125 a week. How fast things can change. So on the channel as of late, I've been speaking a lot about, remaining relatively cash heavy in regards to the stock market, so that when opportunities like these present themselves, you have money to invest. And so I had been remaining cash heavy. I had been slowly but surely buying some positions here and there, but then we saw some big dips, and I saw some offers that, simply put, I could not refuse. So 5 companies. We're going to start off with the one I put the most money into, and then we'll work our way down. What a crazy week it's been in the market though. Truly insane. But anyway guys, right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? It really does help me out. I really would appreciate you. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Hit that juicy red subscribe button. Join the family of over 40,000 investors. We are on the road to 50,000. And drop me a comment down below. I want to know what you picked up this week. What did you get on fire sale, baby? And if you're interested in knowing in real time when I decide to buy or sell a company, hit the first link in the description. Sign up to become a Patreon. You will get access to my buy and sell alerts, messages from me. We have all of these different channels. We now have a juicy memes channel, which is just absolutely beautiful. But there's no prizes for guessing the first company I picked up this week. Okay, it was Workhorse. Now, I wasn't lucky enough to pick them up yesterday. It was 2 days ago, and I picked up 80 shares of Workhorse at $24 and some change. It was a total of about $1,950 worth of Workhorse, and I have to say guys, I'm very happy I was able to do that. So after the 80 shares I just bought, I now have a total of 300 shares of Workhorse. I genuinely did not think I would have got an opportunity to buy Workhorse under $25 again. But some of you guys did really well and actually managed to pick Workhorse up in the 20s. A lot of you guys got in the 21s, and well done. That is awesome. I mean, once these run-ups started happening, specifically when we were at like $24, $25, I sincerely didn't believe we were going to dip below 21, 22. And when we hit 30, I didn't think we were going to see 25 again, but here we are. So although it hurts in the short term, I know there's been a lot of panic. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. You only lose when you sell. I am happy about it. I got to buy more shares. And I think this is really where, long-term investors get separated from people who think they're long-term investors. A 25 or 27% dip, whatever it is, if it scares you, that's fine. It's going to scare a lot of people off. I completely understand that, but if you're a real long-term investor and you really believe in this company, if you believe in Workhorse in the long term, this is an absolute blessing. So I bought 80 more shares. I am very, very happy with my decision. Fundamentals haven't changed. In fact, things have only gotten better for this company constantly over the last couple of months. I mean, it's literally been nothing but good news after good news. We are up in the pre-market today. As of recording this, the market actually opens in less than an hour, so we'll see what happens. I did make a full Workhorse video earlier. It's over 20 minutes long. We spoke about the USPS contract, whether it's worth 6, 8 or $20 billion. Do I think we're at good price points? A few pieces of news in regards to, updated range. I would be very happy to see a green close today. I really would. I'd like to think we've potentially found, the new bottom for a lot of these companies. Anything could happen though, especially today and next week. It's probably going to be a bumpy ride. We'll have to see what happens. ARK Invest went ahead and bought 86,000 more shares. I mean, I'm more confident than I've ever been in Workhorse. The price of it doesn't matter to me, except for, when I can get in cheaper. So yeah, happy days. Will I be worried if we dip below $20 a share? Honestly, I won't. I'll be amazed, but I won't be worried. Am I going to be worried if the contract doesn't get announced by the end of September? No, I spoke about that in detail earlier on. But anyway, that was the first one. I think that was my biggest, single transaction ever as well. So that's pretty cool. Of course it was going to be Workhorse. The stock that only goes up crashed. Lordstown Motors got destroyed, people. On the 6-month chart, we were up over 200% from the peaks, okay? Now, there was only really 2 or 3 5+% dips the entire way up. I mean, Lordstown Motors for a while truly was a stock that only went up. It genuinely just couldn't go down. No matter how much it wanted to, it was impossible. So something like this well and truly was inevitable. Now, they got hit very, very, very hard, down 30% from the top. Now, you can see again, they're up very nicely in the pre-market, but geez, they got hit tough. So I got 50 more shares of Lordstown Motors, again at $24 and some change, and that totaled about $1,235 altogether. So again, for me personally, quite a big purchase. I'm now up to 210 shares, so again, I actually might consider buying more of these guys because I really do believe in them. The crash that happened here genuinely surprised me much more than the one that happened with Workhorse. I understand it's an EV SPAC, I understand it did just go up forever, but geez, I didn't think a pullback was going to be this big. So again, I couldn't say no, I had to pick up a few more shares. Now, so be it. On all of these buys, I got in a day too early. If I knew what was going to happen, you know, I'd be the richest man in the world. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I saw a price I was happy to buy at, I took it. When Lordstown was about $17 a share or so, okay, I made a video that said Lordstown Motors is the most undervalued EV stock. That still stands to me, especially at $20 a share. When we were at 30 or so, yeah, you know, with all that upwards movement, maybe it wasn't the best value in the world. But now that we're back to these kind of levels, I think it's incredible value again. Long term, I mean, we have 40,000 pre-orders, guys. We're going to have first to market advantage. If you need to know anything about this company, watch the interview I did with the CEO. I mean, it was amazing and we got so much juicy information. The merger is expected to go through potentially in October. Nothing changed fundamentally. Nothing. Things have only gotten better for this company since we found out they're going public. So yet again, I was happy with this dip, you know what I mean? Even yesterday didn't worry me, even though, you know, the shares I had bought had gone down in value again over 10%. It didn't worry me, it's fine, that's how the market works. And again, it's periods of time like this that really will separate long-term investors from people who want to be long-term investors. I don't have trailing stop losses, I don't trade on margin, you know what I mean? I buy my shares and I hold them, and when they go bad, I buy more of them. I don't buy high and sell low. I don't sell the losers and buy the winners. I buy quality companies with a long-term mindset. And that is exactly what Lordstown Motors is to me. So I was very happy to pick up 50 more shares. I just want you guys to imagine for a second. Imagine right now Lordstown Motors was $40 a share. This crash never happened and we went on another insane run. But nothing had changed about the company fundamentally. The only difference was the share price, okay? Would you rather buy them now at $21.80 with the exact same fundamentals, or at 40, or even when they were $31.40 a share? Nothing has changed fundamentally. I mean, where would you rather buy them? I would rather buy them when they've lost a 30% of their value. It's like a 30% off sale. It genuinely is. I know that's something that, you know, a lot of people say, but that is really a good way to think about it. So very, very happy with these two purchases in particular this week, and I really did just try and take advantage, you know, of a poor market. So next up, we have another SPAC, okay? We have TRNE Acquisition. I made a full video on these guys very recently, merging with Desktop Metals, and this is quite funny because we have a bit of a running joke in the Discord right now about buying SPACs. Here is one of the memes that often come up in the Discord. But I think this is incredibly well valued right now, in all honesty. Now, I did make a full video on them, so I'm not going to go too in depth here. But I mean, we found out about the merger here the 25th of August. And you know, we went on a run, but nothing crazy. We were up 23%, which is obviously very good. But they've given back nearly all of that value, okay? We are trading at $10.85, people. I mean, this is a really exciting, very innovative company, and you know, that's exactly what I like to invest in. I think it has massive long-term potential. Now, I understand it's not really as exciting as EV, you know, the growth could be a little bit further down the line. I do definitely see this as a long-term investment. I think anything could happen in the short term, and anything could really happen even within 6 months to even a year. And what I mean by that is, I mean, we might not even see the most movement, in all honesty, but I do believe that these guys have immense potential in the long term. If we look a couple of years down the line even. Now, I do still think that in the short term, they're going to perform very well, in all honesty. Especially at these prices, at $10.85 a share. I mean, I told myself I wasn't going to invest any more this week, but I'm very close to buying more of these, I will put it that way. So I mean, Desktop Metal exists to make metal and carbon fiber 3D printing accessible to all engineers, designers and manufacturers. I mean, it's 3D on a real scale. This is for professionals, it's for businesses. It's not just for the everyday person who wants to print off, you know, a pen. This is used in industries such as the automotive industry, okay, consumer goods, education, machine design, heavy industry and manufacturing tooling. I mean, an awful lot of very big industries. Again, this is, I think they have potential to be truly massive. So there's a $275 million pipe, okay, and there's a $1.8 billion enterprise value with a strong balance sheet. Post-transaction expected to have about $625 million on the balance sheet, which is very nice, and that enables significant optionality to enhance growth, profitability and diversification, which often is the exact reasons that companies go public via a SPAC in the first place. So I bought 100 shares at $11.48 a share, so $1,148. That's my initial position. This is one that I do see myself building, but I don't feel like there's much pressure to build very quickly. I could be wrong, but either way, I'm happy having in that position. You know, I would definitely see myself potentially getting that up to 200 plus relatively soon. I'll have to see what happens though, because there's a lot of juicy deals in the market right now that I want to, you know, scoop up before I think they go up a lot quicker, potentially, than this company will. Virgin Galactic, okay, I actually bought 50 more shares at $16.32 a share. So a total of about $820. And I now have a total of 150 shares in the company, so I'm starting to actually have a decent position in these guys. If you're aware, I mean, these guys have been down for a long time now. There's been a lot of time to build your position, but anytime I see these guys pretty much sub $17, I'm inclined to buy. And again, it's a company where I will find it very hard to not buy heavier if I see $15 a share. I've been saying it a considerable amount lately, okay? I do think Virgin Galactic is offering potentially one of the best growth potential stocks out there right now. Now with that, obviously comes massive risks, okay? If things go wrong for this company, they're not going to make any money. They're not going to be a $10 stock. They're probably going to go down even lower than that. And it's always going to be extremely volatile, okay? I think there is never going to be a stage of life where this is a safe company, okay? I always think it's going to be extremely volatile, especially around periods of time where there's flights going on, such as October, where we have our test flights. So I think everybody at this stage should know Virgin Galactic is highly speculative, highly risky in nature. But I mean, as early as the first quarter of next year, Richard Branson could be going to space. And if Richard Branson goes to space, in my opinion, there is no way this isn't a near triple digit stock next year at some stage. And I know at current prices and current valuations that may sound crazy. I think Virgin Galactic will trade at extremely high multiples if all goes to plan, if the October test flights go to plan, and if Richard Branson goes to space the first quarter of next year. Now of course there is a history of that being prolonged already, so who knows, that may not happen as early as the first quarter of next year, but I'm not worried either way. This is definitely a long term hold for me. And we've actually started to see analysts turn bullish on this company, which whenever I see analysts be bullish on speculative stocks, it always fills me with confidence, because a lot of the time they don't give them the time of day. But we can see UBS analysts launch coverage on SPCE stock, assigning a buy equivalent rating and a $25 price target. The analyst said space tourism could grow to be a $38 billion per year industry by the end of this decade. That is big, considering as of right now, it's not even an industry. We have nothing to compare this to. It's creating its own industry from the ground up, and Virgin Galactic will be the first to market, and more than likely, the only one in the market for a very long time. And I mean, right now we have a market cap of $3.7 billion. Think about it, my friends. It could be absolutely massive, all going to plan. But anyway, I won't get too into that. I will make a full update video on them, more than likely next week at some stage, just with the test flights coming so soon, especially if there is any more news that comes out. But that's Virgin Galactic, baby. Another SPAC that is just disgustingly undervalued in my opinion. Spoken about these guys a few times on the channel as of late, okay? CCXX Multiplan. $10.76 a share for this company. Wow. So I bought 100 shares last week, and I picked up 50 more shares at $11.45 a share this week. So that's about $575. But I mean, wow, this is just so cheap. It is taking a lot of self-control to, you know, not start unloading a lot more of my cash reserve right now, in all honesty. But I do think it's important to stay responsible and, you know, don't just unleash it all at once, because you're going to be very upset if next week there are more red days like we saw this week. I put more than enough into the market this week, so, you know, I have to remain diligent. But I mean, wow, this is crazy. So again, I have made a full video on these guys. Really good video, really does outline the potential that these guys have. I honestly thought by now these guys would have made a move. I really did. Now, they're not exciting, you know, they're not an EV SPAC, they're not space travel, it's not something that I would even invest in the large majority of the time. I mean, it's healthcare. Healthcare is boring, people aren't very interested, it doesn't get the same hype behind it as a lot of other industries do. But I mean, guys, 2021 estimated revenue over $1 billion, $106 billion of charges processed. They went from a $1 billion valuation in 2006 to an estimated $11 billion valuation in 2021 after hitting $7.5 billion in 2016. I mean, they have a track record. They have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every single year without fail, and I see no reason for them to have to slow down. So similarly to Desktop Metals, I don't think this is one that, you know, you're going to see 200% in a few weeks. But I do think it's a nice way to diversify, and it's a very, very nice long-term hold, I'll put it that way. And I just think that the downside is so incredibly low, especially at $10.76 a share. I mean, I almost feel like I'd be better off putting my cash reserve in here instead of the bank. The odds of me losing money here, I think, are very low. Now, of course, you always can lose money. That's how the stock market works. Stocks don't only go up as much as I wish they did. Very big week for me. I'll probably try and dial it back a little bit next week, but if we see another week like we did this week, I'm gonna have to just start unloading. It really is that simple. The valuations right now on some of my favorite companies are very cheap. If you have watched until the end of the video, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You are helping me out so much, so just thank you for being here. It genuinely means a lot. Please do remember that just because this week was red and I spent more money than usual doesn't necessarily mean that you should. I was sitting cash heavy. I still am sitting relatively cash heavy. And I will more than likely dial things back big time next week unless, you know, it's another big red week. Just don't feel pressured to go crazy, you know. Don't invest more than you're comfortable doing so. I really mean that. Because it is very uncertain times right now. Especially if you're like me and you're investing in a lot of growth stocks, EV stocks, even the big tech stocks. If you did enjoy the video, could I please ask you, hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment and subscribe if you're new around here. And again, please, if you are interested, hit that first link in the description and sign up to become a Patreon. You will know exactly what I buy in real time, and there is genuinely so much value inside of that chat. There's over 330 patrons right now. It's an awesome community. But anyway, guys, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for the next video. Peace.